Hey.
Good morning. Just while we're waiting for people to get in, if we can just retweet the space, and then I'm just going to send some messages out, and we'll get started in a few minutes.
Good morning. Just while we're waiting for people to get in, we can just retweet the space, and then I'm just going to send some messages out, and we'll get started in a few minutes. I get some background noise. 1 sec.
You're streaming and there's a delay, right?
Yeah, just trying to get used to this technology here, because we're also trying to go live on YouTube at the same time. So yeah, just bear with me for a second. How's is it morning for you, Andy? No, it's midday for you, right? What time is it?
Yes, 1 p.m. Just after 1 p.m.
Cool. And then we're also going to be joined with Renee as well. So Renee and Andy are co-founders for Zazook app, and yeah, an app that's been built actually for quite some time now. But we're super excited to get into the story. But before we do that, just want to get the alerts out one more time, and we can get started. Let me see if I can get some music going. Break the silence here. Let's see. Cool. Yeah, we're just about to ready to get started, and I think we can. We are not at our typical usual starting time.
Cool.
So we are.
Yeah,
we
we're
are
just
coming live.
just
with
about
the
to
co-founders
ready to get started, and I think we can.
We
We are
get started. Just
not at our typical usual starting time.
Angelo, how's it going, my guy?
So we are
doing?
coming live with the co-founders coming from Asia. But before we get started, just wanted to give a shout out to co-host Bimojo. Angelo, how's it going, my guy? How you doing?
Andy and the team of Zazook today. GM. Yeah, all good.
Yeah.
Just woke up here.
Good to meet you too in a cold
UK. Had my coffee and I'm ready for it.
How's the weather like in
Andy
UK, by the way?
And the team of Zazook today.
Yeah.
Good to meet you too in a cold UK.
Rainy, not really sunny. And
yes,
when they're gonna change
like
the time on a Saturday, it's gonna be very, very dark every day, probably. Foggy, rainy.
Okay, that's good to know. I don't know if you guys are the same as Canada,
when
but
they're gonna
definitely, I
change
think ours
the
is
time
probably
on a Saturday,
after
it's gonna
the
be
time.
very, very dark every day,
we
probably.
go, was it fall behind? Yeah. So I think that happens after Halloween.
That's good to know.
I don't know if you guys are big thing out here, Canada, but or at least they commercialize it like that. I'm not sure if it's like that in UK.
We go, was it fall behind? Yeah. So
but yeah,
I think
lots
that
of kids
happens after Halloween. And Halloween's a big thing out here, or at least they commercialize it like that. I'm not sure if it's like that in UK.
Give us some chocolate and then they go away.
But yeah, lots of kids out.
They do have kids out in the UK. But
I know
basically, they knock on your door and it's give us some chocolate and then they go away.
I don't know if you've accepted.
That's about it.
Do you see him on? Because I don't see him.
So I'm just trying to get Rene on the call.
Okay.
So he's on the call and requested to speak, but I don't know if you've accepted him.
In Discord with him, but he's just dropped off.
Do you see him on? Because I don't.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
I don't see him on. No.
Yeah, I mean, Rene, he's
the
the co-founder that put together that wrote actually, or that put together the trading strategies using technical indicators.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, if he can join, that'd be great. If not,
Rene,
it's no biggie.
The co-founder.
I know you did a lot of
that wrote actually, or they put together the trading strategies using technical indicators.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess we can start with yourself.
I mean, if he can join, that'd be great. If not,
like first off,
you should be able to. I'll solve it as we move
this
forward.
episode. We're on episode 24. My goodness, Angela, 24 already.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess we can start with yourself.
But yeah, we've been doing level up for quite some time
welcome
now.
Everyone.
And so we have
to
the pleasure
this episode. We're on episode 24. My goodness,
Zazook
Angela,
application
24 already.
What they're building with
time flies.
But
we're doing
with their software.
We've been doing level up.
And actually, the software's been around
and so we have the pleasure of
2018,
bringing on
from the
Zazook
height of the
application
following the height of
and what they're building
the bull
with
market.
The
So
with their software.
Interesting to hear you guys' story. You want to talk about your journey to Web3, Andy?
2018,
and
from the height of the following the height of the bull market. So it's interesting to hear you guys' story. You want to talk about your journey to Web3, Andy?
A long time ago.
And sure. It's a very long journey, and I'm going to try and make it short if I can.
So I started programming back in 1985,
a long time ago.
And then I ended up in London
and
in two guys
machine code,
over my
and
shoulders said, "Can we have a meeting with you?" And they offered me
so I started to write some routines to do that, flying through a very simple
to
landscape.
release
And then I ended up in London
computer game version,
two
official
guys
home computer game version of Star Wars.
Can we have a meeting
And
with
they
you? And they offered me
basically gave me the
contract
license to do that. So I had to start a company overnight.
To release
because
a home
I lied to them and told
version,
them I had a
official
company, but I didn't
home computer game version of Star
I was
Wars.
26 at the time, I think.
And they basically gave me the
so I started a
license to
company
do
called
that.
Vector
So I had to start a company overnight.
Star Wars that was sold all over
I lied to
the
them
world on all the 8-bit and early 16-bit computers, Amiga ST,
and
actually we did
so I
Empire
started
Strikes Back on Amiga and ST.
Wrote Star Wars,
all the 8-bit
world
computers,
on all the
and it
8-bit
sold all
and
over
early
the
16-bit
world in
computers,
87 and 88, and then we went on to
all,
Empire Strikes
actually
Back.
we did Empire
And
Strikes
these
Back
were
on
conversions
Amiga
of the
and
very
ST,
popular at the time arcade machines.
all the 8-bit computers, and it sold all over the world in 87 and 88, and then
so
we went
did
on
that,
to
and
do
that
the Empire
actively
Strikes Back,
established my business.
and these were
And then we
conversions of the
grew,
very
and we
popular
took
at
on
the time
more games,
arcade
Killing
machines,
Cloud, Fighter Bomber, B-17, Flight
drawn
Fortress, a Space Shuttle
3D
Simulator
arcade
that
machines.
NASA
So we did
actually
that, and
used as a
that
prop test
actively
trainer in
established
the
my
end, even though it
business.
was meant to be a game.
And then we grew,
And then I
and
sold
we
that
took on
business,
more
and then
games,
started a
Killing
second
Cloud,
business,
and Fighter Bomber,
developing
and B-17,
the
Flight
tools to
Fortress,
write
Space Shuttle
computer games
Simulator,
with, because
that
there
NASA
weren't
actually
any.
used as a
And
test
that
trainer in the
company
end, even
was
though it
called
was meant
Cross
to be a
Products, and
game.
it took off.
And then I
And
sold
it
that
became
business,
like an
and then
industry
started a
standard,
second
more
business
by
of
good luck,
developing
really, but and also
the
it was
tools
just
to
good
write
timing.
computer games
And that
because
company
there
was
weren't
sold to
any.
Sega in
And
Japan.
that company was called
If
Cross
people
Products,
remember
and it took
Sega,
off, and it
they were
became like
huge
an
back then.
industry standard, more by
And
good luck,
so
really,
then I kind of went on in
also
my life,
just good timing.
and I kind of moved
And
away
that
from
company was
computing a
sold to
bit, well,
Sega of
away from
Japan,
computing businesses for
if
a
people
bit,
remember Sega.
but always
They were
kept up
huge back
programming.
then.
And then I came back to it
And
later.
so then I kind of went on in
Wanted
my
to do
life.
some contracting,
And
and
I kind of moved away from
I
computing a
did
bit,
kind of enterprise
away
level
from computing
contracting
businesses for a bit,
as a sort of senior
but always kept
developer,
up
senior
programming.
software
And I
engineer.
came back to it later.
And
was
before
wanting
that,
to do
I
some
kind of met
contracting,
Rennie
and
in
I did kind of
2017,
enterprise
and I
level
was moving into
contracting
crypto.
as a sort of senior
And Rennie is a
developer,
kind of
senior software
veteran
engineer.
trader, and I believe he used to write some
Before that, I
algorithms
kind of
for,
met Rennie
for
in
a Dutch company.
2017,
And so
I
we
was
started
moving
talking,
into
and I said,
crypto.
look, I'm a software engineer.
And
He's
Rennie
got all
is
these
a kind of
ideas
veteran
in terms of
trader,
technical
and I
analysis. So
believe he
I
used to
wrote,
write some algorithms
over a few versions, we ended up with what is
for a
now
Dutch company. And
a
so we
full kind
started
of
talking, and I
crypto
said, look, I'm a software engineer.
technical analysis system
in terms
based
of
on
technical
filters
analysis.
and
So
strategies. I built like an internal
over a few
data-driven
versions,
language,
we ended up
so we
with
can
what
do
is now
very
Zazook,
complex
a full kind of
strategies
crypto
based on René's ideas.
technical analysis
And we have a full
system
back tester,
based on
so whenever we
filters
ware
and
new strategy, we
strategies.
can
I built
back
like
test
an
it
internal
over
data
years of
database,
historical
so we can
data,
do very
outputs
complex
all that data, we analyze it,
strategies
and
based
only
on
when a
René's
strategy
ideas.
passes muster would we
And we
use
have a
it.
full back tester, so
And
whenever
then
we write a
we built
strategy,
that
we
in
back
Slack
test it
at
over
and of
years
course
of
that was the
historical
bull run was
data,
over
we
in
output all that
2018.
data, we analyze
And
it,
it kind of went
and
quiet,
only
and
when
then
a strategy passes
earlier
muster
this
would we
year I
use it.
converted everything to a
And then we
framework
built that in Slack,
on the crypto
and of course that was the
software
bull run was
side.
over in
And because
2018.
I'd very much pivoted
And
into
it kind of went
smart
quiet,
contracts,
and then
I'm a co-founder of
earlier
something
this
called the
year,
Pruner
I
Protocol.
converted everything to
So therefore, my
firmware,
Solidity knowledge at this
on
point
the
was
crypto
kind of on point.
software side.
So I
And because
decided
I
that
very
we
much
would launch
pivoted into
Zazook within
smart
Discord
contracts,
this time and
I'm a
tie
co-founder of
everything
something
around an
called the Pruner
NFT.
Protocol.
But
So
I
therefore,
didn't
my
want it to be
Solidity
a
knowledge
typical
at this point
subscription
was
where
kind of on point.
you buy a subscription
So
for
I decided
a month
that
or
we
a
would
year,
launch Zazook
and then you
within
don't
Discord
use the
this time
service,
and tie everything around an NFT.
tough shit.
But
You can't,
I didn't
you
want
can't get
it
your
to
money
be a
back.
typical
So
subscription
what I did was I wrote
you buy a
subscription
for a
system
month or
where
a
you
year,
can buy
and then you don't use the
a subscription
service,
NFT.
and
It's
tough shit. You can't you can't get your money back.
And you can pay
So
for a month if you want, or you can pay for 3 months and you get a bonus month. Pay for 6
where
months, you
you
get
can
3
buy
bonus months. Pay for
a
12, you
subscription
get
NFT.
8 bonus months.
It's released on
And it's got discounts locked in at the moment.
and you can pay for a month if you want, or you can pay for 3 months and you get a bonus
The normal
month.
rate is $99
bonus
a month for a member roll, $129 for a elite roll,
and it's got discounts locked in at the
pro
moment.
roll and $149 for an elite roll,
an
with 80% discount.
The normal rate is $99 a month for a member roll,
so it's much cheaper.
Elite roll. A pro roll and $149 for an elite roll, with 80% discount off. A 1 month member roll costs $19.80.
If you bought an elite roll and decided actually the member roll is okay, you can downgrade, and we credit you back, and you get the credits in the smart contract.
You can upgrade
for the difference of your remaining time. And should you pay say for 6 months, and you have to then end your subscription because you're traveling, you can't use it. You can end your subscription.
For the difference
it will
of your
credit back
remaining
all the
time.
unused.
And should you pay, say, for
credits,
6 months,
$1
you have to then end
later,
your subscription because you're traveling, you can't use it. You can end your subscription. It will credit back all the
ultimately, if you try Zazook and say, you know what, I don't want to trade anymore,
And then later,
you can sell your
when
NFT.
you are free to
And of course, the value at the moment is it's got a locked-in discount of 80%. Whether we, in a year's time, 2 years'
ultimately,
time,
if you try Zazook and say,
upgrade, you'll still get that same 80%.
you can
And
sell your
within
NFT.
not too long
Of course,
now,
the
we're
value
going to
at the
reduce
moment
that
is it's got
discount
a
to
locked-in
50%.
discount
And
of
after a
80%.
while,
Whether
as the
we,
project
in a
takes
year's
off, there will
time,
be
2
no
years'
discount
time,
at all.
you
So those
extend,
NFTs,
upgrade, you'll still get that same
blockchain will have real
80%.
value.
And within not too long now, we're going to reduce that discount to 50%. And after a while, as the project takes off, there will be no discount at all. So those NFTs,
so it's a big
locked in on
difference.
chain, will have
So
real
I
value
think I've
within
I've not gone into
themselves.
what Crooner
Because
is.
somebody coming in, instead of wanting to pay $99 a
suite
month,
of
if they
smart
bought your
contracts
NFT,
that
they'd
allow
pay
you to have smart
$19.80
wallets.
per
It's a
month.
plugin
So it's a big
architecture
difference.
where
So I
we've created
think
something called the inheritance
summed up.
plugin,
I'm not
where
going
you
into
can
what
put your
Crooner
digital
is,
assets in
but
there, and
Crooner
should
is
you die, if you don't
a suite
do a
of smart
feature of life,
contracts that
then
allow
your
you to have smart
beneficiary can get
wallets.
your assets,
It's
even
a
if they
plugin
don't have your
architecture
private keys,
where
even if they can't get
we've created
access to
something
your
called the
stuff.
inheritance plugin,
So it's
where you can put your digital assets
that's
in there,
again
and
just
should
something
you
that's
die,
launching,
if you don't
and starting
do a
to
proof of
build.
life, then your
So that's kind of
beneficiary
a
can get your
very
assets,
long
even
potted
if they don't
history
have your
said
private
very
keys,
short,
even if they
probably in
can't
a
get access
confusing
to your
way.
system. So it's
Yeah,
that's again
there's
just
a
something
lot
that's
to unpack there
launching
for sure.
and starting to build.
You know,
So that's
first,
kind
like
of a
the story.
very
Well, I mean, your
long-potted history
background
said very
speaks for
short,
itself.
probably confusing
You know,
way.
and I think Sega, not of Japan, not just Japan, but Sega is like a worldwide IP. I mean, when I think of Sega, I think immediately Sonic the Hedgehog, and I immediately after that,
and I think Sega, not of Japan, not just Japan, but
I mean,
Sega is
that
like
just
a
reminds me
worldwide
of like
IP.
early
I mean, when I
childhood
think of
memories
Sega,
from back
I
in the
think
day. So I mean, you've been riding this up for quite some time now.
Immediately after that, the Sega. So I mean, that just reminds me of like early childhood memories from back in the day. So I mean, you've been riding this up for quite some time now.
I was writing computer games.
For many years, yeah. But the thing is that I'm always excited by technologies. And you know, when NFTs came along, it reminded me when I was writing computer games back in the day. We wrote a game called Killing Cloud, for instance, and I was like, how can we monetize inside the game? How can we buy and sell things inside the game through ownership? And it's only when NFTs came along, I was, we can do that now. Like, this can be done now. And that kind of pivoted me into the NFTs, which is why I joined TRT, the round table as a member, just about.
So yeah, it has been a long journey, but again,
and then a few months later, they asked me to head up TRT,
so I'm always keeping on top of what's coming out next.
Then you took over. I stood down because I was doing
touch on the Sega bit. If I
so
remember,
yeah, it has been a long journey, but again,
you saw
I
this
love technology,
Sega program. I think it
so
was
I'm
when
always
they
keeping on
released
top of what's
Sonic the
coming out
Hedgehog, so it was very big.
I wanted to touch on the
marketing
Sega
as well against
if I well remember when
Super Mario, they
you saw the Sega program, I think it was when they released Sonic the Hedgehog, so there was very big
more arcades,
marketing as well against the Nintendo. I think they launched Super Mario, they launched Sonic the Hedgehog, and it was like a head-to-head. Sega was pretty big in the 90s when they were launching more arcades.
On blockchain as well, they're working on different
they were
things.
the two big players.
I think now Sega is trying to launch on blockchain as well. They are working on different things. I'm not wrong.
Now we have like a discount of 90%.
About time.
If they don't make 80%, sorry. If they don't use that 80% discount now, and like they're waiting like 3-4 years, is that 80% still locked on the NFTs, or
if they don't use that
adjust in time?
80%, sorry. If they don't use that 80% discount now and like they're waiting like 3-4 years, is that 80% still locked on the NFTs, or it will adjust in time?
No, it's the moment you buy the NFT, whatever the current discount set in the smart contract is, wherever it says I am selling this discount, that's locked in to your NFT. Underneath the hood, the NFT owns another contract, which is the Zazook subscription plugin. Because obviously, it's been involved in Crooner, I've written it using ERC7656, which is one of the Crooner protocol ERCs. So And that's owned by the NFT. When you sell the NFT, that plugin goes with it with all the subscription details. So once you buy that NFT, 80% is in that plugin and it's immutable. You cannot then. I cannot go in and lower it. Are you with me? No one can lower it.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. To be honest, we just invited Rene to the panel. Rene, glad to have you on. Are you? Yeah, so you have to unmute
that's pretty
to
impressive.
speak.
To be honest, we just invited Rene
on the bottom left
to the panel. Rene, glad to have you on.
Is this right? Can you hear me?
Are you
loud and clear?
Yeah, so you have to unmute to speak.
I did it.
And you can unmute
Yes.
on the bottom left.
First spaces, everybody. So he's,
Is this right? Can you hear me?
I was a bit late in.
Loud and clear.
We can.
Brett.
I did it. I sent a request, but
This is
I
Rene's
heard that
first
you couldn't
spaces,
hear me,
everybody.
so
So
now I'm on my computer and it works.
that's why I was a bit late in.
Oh, very
Well,
interesting.
I was
Yeah,
on-
actually, this is the
on
first time
Spaces in
I
my
saw
phone,
your
and I
username
sent a
pop up.
request.
So yeah,
I
happy that you
heard
made it
you
for
couldn't
sure.
Hear me, so now I'm on my computer and it
Yeah,
works.
so we were just getting into the journey,
very
and
interesting.
actually,
Yeah,
just
actually,
curious.
this is
I'm
the
going
first
to
time
toss it back
I
to
saw
you.
your username
What sort
pop
of
up.
brought you to
So, yeah,
Web3? What was sort of
happy
your
that you made it,
conviction?
for sure.
Yeah, me too.
And you as well also live in
Yeah,
Asia.
so we were just getting into
we
the
talked about your
journey, and
It'd be cool.
actually, just curious. I'm going to toss it back to you. What sort of brought you to Web3? What was sort of your conviction?
Yes. Yes.
And you as well also live in Asia. So yeah, we talked about your journey. Would be cool.
What, from where I start, you mean, as a trader?
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Yes.
So I started to get an interest in that. I actually was a manual therapist, but I always was interested in trading. So I started to,
and I got
it was
more
in the
and more
90s somewhere.
educated in them.
So I started to get an interest in that,
did my own
also
strategies, and I
all these
tested them.
indicators, technical
I read a lot
analysis.
about how you have to test strategies.
And I got
because, you know,
more
you
and
can
more
basically
educated in them.
fit your
And then at
strategies to
one
the
moment in
data
time,
and
I
have a
did my
really
own
great
strategies
result.
and I
But
tested
actually,
them.
in the future,
I read
that
a lot
won't happen.
about how you have to test
And
strategies.
because I had this
because,
knowledge,
you know,
a
you can
company
basically
near my
fit
city
your
asked me
strategies
to
to the data
test
and then
the
have
trading
a really
strategies,
great result.
and they were
But actually, in the future,
doing
that won't
quite
happen.
elaborate trading
And because I had
strategies.
this knowledge, a
for a
company
called
near my
Bonk,
city asked me to
and that was
test the trading strategies.
basically
They were
a company that
doing
offered
quite elaborate trading
to the
strategies
retail.
for a company called Bonk.
So I started to test
That was
them, and that
basically
day
a company that
we had
offered
these
trading
computers.
to the
It took
retail.
about 2 days to do one test.
And so I started to test
I had
them,
my computer running
and that
almost all
day
day. And then when
you know,
I
we
got
had
the results,
these
I went through them
computers.
and
It took
checked
about 2
where
days to do
where
one
it went
test.
off and what they did
So
wrong. So I
I
gave
had
them
my
feedback on
computer
the systems.
running almost all
That
day.
showed
And
actually I
then when
learned
I
a lot
got the
about
results, I went through them and checked
checking
where it went
if
off
the
and
trading
what they
systems really
did
work or
wrong.
not.
So I gave them feedback
Yeah.
on the systems.
And
So
from there
actually, I learned a lot
I
about
started trading. So
um,
basically, I was a manual therapist, but it's
checking
quite a
if
I'm
the trading systems
190,
really work or
so
not.
it was quite heavy on my back. So
Yeah.
I
And
said, okay,
From
gonna
there
stop
on,
doing this
I
because
started trading.
I
So
want to
basically, I was a manual
enjoy
therapist.
my
but
life a little
it's
bit more.
quite
and
a
not
heavy. I'm
walk around with back pain
190,
all the time.
so it
So
was
then I
quite
started
heavy on my
trading,
back. So
and
I
I did
said,
that for
okay,
a living.
I'm going to
Till I
stop
went to
doing this
Thailand.
because
I think
I want to
so it was about
enjoy my life a little bit more and not
2004.
walk around
I'm
with
not
back
very
pain all the
good
time.
in
So then I started
dates, so
trading, and I
forgive
did
me.
that for a living
And
until
when
I
I
went
was
to
in Thailand, I
Thailand.
started to
I think
get
so
involved
it
in
was
the
about
development for
2004. I'm
people
not
that
very
had a
good
handicap.
in dates,
So
so
we're building units
forgive me.
for people that could go on
And when I
holiday
was in
here
Thailand, I
in
started to
So when that was
get involved in the
finished,
development for
crypto came
people
in
that had a
my
handicap.
eyesight, and then I went to
to
a
building
seminar
units
and I met
for
Andy,
people
and we
that
started
could
to
go on
talk.
holiday here in Thailand.
And
So when that
and
was
these
finished,
crazy moves that were going on in crypto,
crypto
I thought, well,
came in my
that
eyesight,
could-
and then
you
I
should be able
went
to
to a
monetize that,
seminar
but
and I met Andy,
it
and we
wasn't
started
really
to talk.
a system or anything there that
and these crazy moves that were going on in crypto, I thought, well,
and when I met Andy, we started to talk about
we should be able to monetize that, but it wasn't really
something for
a
ourselves.
system or anything there that
And later on, we
thought that I could
put it on
use.
Slack.
And when I met Andy, we started to talk about this and said,
to
okay,
get some more people.
let's
And
develop
you know,
something for ourselves. And that's how it
the only
started.
thing that
And later on, we
is, for me,
we
now
put it on
personally,
Slack,
I don't like
to,
about trading is that you basically are alone.
to get some more people. And, you
don't have any feedback.
the only
Nobody
thing
to
that
you just do your
is,
thing. And
for me,
that's
now,
good
personally,
in one way, but
I don't like about trading is that
building
you
a community
basically are alone.
help you also
And you
to
don't
have
have
that
any
feedback
feedback,
and
nobody
to,
to talk to,
to celebrate
you just
your
do your
wins
thing, and that's
to
a good
cry
in
out
one way, but
to talk about your losses and say,
building
okay,
a
what
community
went wrong and
help
how
you
can I prevent
also
this?
to have that
So that
feedback and to
really
to
motivated
celebrate
me to,
your wins
start
and
with
to
Andy,
cry
and
out,
we
to
developed
talk
over
about your
time
losses and
these
say, okay, what
strategies,
went
and these
wrong
strategies
and
that
how
we
can I
have
prevent
developed
this?
are not optimized.
So
that
that
means
really motivated me
that
to start with
parameters
Andy,
that
and
we
then we
use are for
developed over
coin,
time
every
these
coin
strategies, and these
So we
strategies that
don't
we have developed are
optimize
not
all
optimized.
the
That
data
means
because I know from the
that
past that if you do that,
the
you just
parameters that we use are
lose.
for
It doesn't
every
work.
coin the
So you
same.
need to have
So we don't
a system that is
optimize
robust over
all the
not
data,
only
because
Bitcoin
I know
or
from the
not,
past
not
that if
only
you do
over
that,
one
you
coin,
just
but over all
lose.
of them.
It
And
doesn't
what we have
work.
developed
So
is,
you need
is
to
a system
have
that
a system that
does
is robust
better
over
more than
not only
90%
Bitcoin or
over all
not
the
only
coins.
over one coin,
It
but
does
over
better
all of
than
them.
buy and
And what
hold.
we have developed is a system that
And
does better
and he
more than
said-
90%
he said
over
that,
all the coins.
we started to
It does better than
we
buy
left
and hold.
Slack because of the
So and
The NFT side of
he said that we started to we left Slack because of the
I think how long ago, Andy? Like 5 months ago or something?
the downtrend in
I just
crypto,
woke up one morning
and also we had some other stuff to do.
made me do it,
And then
but I just started
how long
converting
ago, Andy? Like 5 months ago or something?
onto a new framework.
I just woke up. I
and
woke
making
up
it
one
work,
morning
building
in
everything again.
May,
And from
I
that,
don't know
I was
what
like,
made me do it, but I just started converting
you and said, hey,
the platform
let's do it. And then
into a new
heavily
framework
leapt into the
and making
NFT
it work,
side as
building
well,
everything
because
again.
I wanted to be
And
able to have
from that, I
a
was
solid
like,
subscription
we've come this far.
idea,
I
so that
phoned you
people
and said,
could
hey,
benefit from
let's do it.
a really
And
kind of
then,
unique subscription
heavily leapt
style.
into the NFT side
Yeah.
as well, because I
and
wanted
then
to be able
also,
to have
during
a solid
the time that,
subscription
we basically left
idea, so that
Zazook,
people could benefit
for a
from
while,
a really kind of unique
I also
subscription
thought
style.
about, okay, how how
And then
do
also, during the time that
basically
we basically
give
left
people a
Zazook
way of trading that,
for a while,
so that they
I
can
also thought about
use that
how
for themselves
how
and
do
know where to enter, where to exit,
basically
how to go
give
about a
people
trade.
a way of trading
And that has been developed
so that they can
in the last few
use that
years.
for themselves and
And
know
So-
where to enter,
so-
where to
Also
exit,
because
I had a
how
question.
to go about a
Yeah,
trade.
just out of curiosity.
And
So,
that
what
has
were the
been
main
developed in
differences between the Zazook
in the last few years.
platform on Slack versus
and
the
that's
one on Discord? Aside from like the
also
NFT, of
something
course, because that's a massive
important.
piece of tech that is
Curiosity. So, what were the
pushing
main
the
differences
model.
between the
I
Zazook
think mainly we added a
platform
system
on
for
Slack
people-
versus
for people
the
to
one on Discord?
understand
Aside from
how
like
they
the
should
NFT,
trade.
of course, because that's a massive
Um,
piece of tech that
we
is,
also developed a.
Well, I think mainly we
trading
added a
system that
system
we
for
are now
for
using
people
two
to
trading
understand
systems
how
within,
they should trade.
Zazook that have the same
We also developed
performance in the sense that
second
performance
trading
as
system
well
that
as
we
the
are
one
now
performs as
using
well as the
two
other.
trading
There's a little
systems within
difference in
Zazook that have
one is
the same
more
performance in the sense that it performs as well as the one performs as well as the other. There's a little difference in
when you get in and the trend just goes off,
more,
then basically you're in
gives you a bit more signals.
And
also
the second
during
system
an
is a little more sensitive, so it will
okay when you get in and the trend
find
just goes
trade
off.
in that
basically you're in till
there is a
till
small
that turns around.
So that's
the second system is a little more sensitive, so it will
well, I mean, the reason I thought Discord
in
was
that
better
move
than
up
Slack
if there is
from
a
a kind of
small
API
pullback.
usage programming point
So
of
that's
view,
the main difference.
was that
I think.
there's more
I don't know, Andy,
flexibility.
what about you?
Discord.
Well,
So
I
I've
mean,
actually
the
written our
reason
own
I
Discord
thought Discord
bot
was
as well, called the
better than
Zazook bot.
from a
So
kind
when
of
you buy an
API
NFT,
usage
it
programming
links your
point of view,
NFT
was that
backend
there's
through our
more
backend
flexibility.
API, which then automatically
So I've actually
allocates
written
you the
our own
roles
Discord bot as
within
well, called the
Discord.
Zazook bot. So when you buy an NFT, it links your NFT in our backend through our backend API, which then automatically allocates you the roles within Discord.
It's the app of choice for many companies, but when it comes to something like this,
so Slack was more of a
Discord,
as a software
although
engineer,
Discord has its own
Slack
problems with
within
hacking and God
companies.
knows what else,
It's a kind of
but which Slack
it's the
doesn't
app
have.
of choice for many companies. But when it comes to
much
something
more
like this,
from that point of view.
Discord, although Discord has its own
Yeah,
problems.
and it seems like the community side of things is just much easier to rally the community side opposed to
Discord was just
Slack.
much more flexible.
So
from that point of view,
you probably get a sense of more camaraderie and
it seems like
easier for collaboration.
The community side of things is just much
assume.
easier to rally the community side opposed to from Slack.
As well, right?
So you probably get a sense of more camaraderie and easier for collaboration. I'd assume.
Outreaching to communities.
Yeah, totally. I mean, that's kind of where you come in as well, right? So.
So let's
all
talk.
The time you
sorry,
and I
Dimo,
have spent within Discord and building communities, outreaching to communities. Discord is very good for that. It's very good for that.
People have Discord on the background more than.
So let's talk. Sorry, Dimo.
I wanted to ask Andy and Randy,
Discord is like much more broad use as well. Like lots of people have Discord in the background more than
market
Slack
trading,
for
like
the
charts and stuff like
So
that.
I wanted to ask to Andy and Randy,
Crypto
like,
one, it's much faster.
what's the biggest
But when
difference
you
you
do
find
your
when
analysis,
you feed into
what's
Zazook
the biggest
compared
difference
to the traditional like
when
stock
you do
market
them,
trading, like charts and stuff like that, compared to Crypto one? Crypto one, it's much
The
faster.
analysis is the
But
same.
when you do your analysis,
The only
what's
reason
the
to choose
biggest
crypto is,
difference
as you
when
rightfully said, the
when
moves
you
are
do them? Yeah.
quite big. So basically, you can make your profit.
The analysis is the same.
Then in the stock market, but the system works over,
as you rightfully said, the moves are quite.
But we are
big.
focused
So basically
mainly.
Your profit on much quicker
only on
than in the stock market, but the system works over.
Yeah, so the system works
too.
by taking in
But we
the
are
usual
focused
open, high, low, close volume stuff that you get on any trading chart. And from there, we build.
So the system works by
each candle
taking
on
in
each
the usual open,
time
high,
frame
low, close
each coin has
stuff that you
quite
get
a lot of TA
on any trading
in each
chart.
candle entry within the database.
And from there, we
we're
build
currently supporting
tons of TA.
400 trading
Each
pairs.
candle on each
So
on each
let's say
time
the day
frame, so
chart,
each coin
every
has
day 400
quite a
new
lot of
candles,
TA in each candle
with
entry within the
the
database.
open, high, low, close
So
volume, a bunch of
we're
other
currently
TA already
supporting
done.
about 400
Benefit of
trading
that
pairs.
is that
So
if you just
each,
say use
let's say the
simple
day
like
chart,
RSI,
every day
you've got
400 new
RSI going
candles,
back over all the days. You can then
each
run
with
TA over
the open,
that
high, low, close
TA
volume,
of
a
the
bunch of
RSI.
other TA
Same
already
with
done.
things like
Benefit of that is
alligators,
that if you just say use one simple one like RSI, you've got RSI going back over all the days, you can then run TA over that TA of the RSI. Same with things like cop-op curve, alligators, EMAs, MACDs, whatever it is. So we've got like all.
On top of that, we have a ton of algorithms we've written to generate other TA. So it's kind of TA within TA within TA
over the alligators,
and it can mix time frames. You can do part of it on the day chart,
a ton of algorithms we've written to generate other TAs.
So it's very, very flexible.
So it's kind of
TA
within TA
everything
TA
starts
now.
with open, high,
And
low,
it can mix
close
time
volume.
frames.
So
You
whether
can
it's
do
crypto,
part of it
whether
on
it's
the day
stocks,
chart and say now
it's the
do the
same.
next bit on the 4-hour chart.
Yeah,
So
actually,
it's
I was
very,
going to
very
ask you.
flexible
So
when it comes
maybe
to
if
that.
you
But
could walk us
ultimately,
through how does
everything starts with open, high, low, close volume.
the
So whether it's
platform
crypto, whether
give
it's
these
stocks,
alerts for the
it's
tokens?
the
Like
same.
how does it sift through the
Yeah, actually, I was going to
400
ask you.
different
So maybe if you can
tokens
walk us
or
through
pairs
how
that
does
it's following to decide, okay,
the
this one's going to
platform
be alerted?
give these alerts for the tokens? Like how does it sift through the 400 different tokens or pairs that it's following to decide, okay, this one's going to.
Okay, so let me try give you this in a short and succinct way. So it starts with what we call a filter, and the filter is made up of sub-filters. So imagine you start with 400 coins on, and I'm going to just make up an example. So 400 coins get entered into this filter. And then there's a sub-filter that says, now all I want is the top 40 by volume. That's all I want. And then that sub-filter returns the top 40, those 400 by volume for that day. And then it might say, now with those, whatever's left, I want you to run another sub-filter against another TA, and another sub-filter, and ultimately you're drilling down to say 2, 3, 4, 10 coins that pass that. They then get passed into a strategy. The strategy has two choices. You can either put them directly as a tip. One strategy actually does do that. But another strategy, you can put it into what's called pre-trade. Strategies are made up of actions. Similar to sub-filters, although actions are a bit more powerful. Multiple actions can run at the same time, and some of them have the right to kick the thing into trade, some have the right to terminate it and throw it out,
and it goes, yes, now this action passes me, I'm now going to be passed to the in-trade section,
everything goes
and then a
through the
juicy tip comes into a Discord automatically. As we monitor that then,
and it goes, yes,
trade,
now this
whenever
action
it reaches
passes
certain
me,
profit
I'm now
targets,
going to be passed to the
profit
in-trade
levels,
section,
it
and
will
then a
send
juicy
tip
tip
update
comes
into an
into a
associated
Discord
channel, not the same
automatically.
channel now.
As we
Based on
monitor
user
that,
feedback
then,
on a
as it's
different
in
channel,
trade,
you might get told it's
whenever
now
it reaches
8%
certain profit targets,
3%,
certain
10%,
profit
whatever it
levels,
is in profit.
it will send a tip
eventually,
update into an
we've got other
associated channel,
actions
not
that
the
are
same channel
monitoring
now,
the turn down
based on user
trade, where
feedback. On
effectively
a
you get
different
stopped
channel, you
out,
might get told
or
it's now 8%,
one of the actions is to raise the
3%,
stop as you
10%,
go.
whatever it is.
So it's
profit.
raising the stop
Then
all the time,
eventually,
raising the stop. Eventually,
we've got other
kicks in
actions that are monitoring
happens,
the turn
or some
down
other TA
trade, where
happens, and it goes,
effectively you
we're
get
no longer
stopped out,
monitoring this.
because we raise,
So
one of the actions
what's
is to
also
raise the
important
stop
to
as you
note is
go.
that
So
these
it's
are not
raising the
buy-sell
stop all the
signals.
time,
The reason
raising
we
the
call
stop.
them juicy
Eventually,
tips is
kicks
for
in,
very
that
good reason.
happens,
That
or some other
the
TA happens, and
algorithms
it
are
goes, well,
giving
you're no
you those
longer
coins
monitoring
that
this.
are looking
So
really
what's also
promising.
important to
And then
note
within
is that
Discord,
these
we
are
have
not buy-sell
an
signals.
education
The reason we
channel,
call
which is
them
a bunch
juicy
of
tips is for very
YouTube
good
shorts,
reason.
effectively,
That
that
the
teach you how
algorithms
to
are
look
giving
at
you
those
those
coins to
coins
say, is it
that
good
are
to trade
looking
with now?
really
Should I
promising.
wait for a pullback?
And then
But
within
what it
Discord,
does
we
do
have
is save
an
you having to
education
look at
channel,
400
which is a bunch
charts
of
to try and find them
YouTube
for
shorts,
yourself.
effectively,
And
that teach you how to look at those coins to say,
as
is it
Rennie
good to
alluded
trade it
to,
now?
when
Should
we
I wait for a
backtest
pullback?
these,
But what it does
like
do is save
90%
you having to look at 400
actually get into a
charts
profit.
to try find
So
them for
90%
yourself.
of them are going into a
And
reasonable profit. And we also
Rennie
backtest
alluded
these
to,
over
when we
different
backtest
market
these,
conditions. So we don't
like
just
90%
we don't just cherry pick the
actually
time,
get into a
the time
profit.
we're going to
Right? So
backtest stuff
90%
when
of them are going
we know
into a
Bitcoin's
reasonable
flying
profit.
up and the alts are following.
And we also
We backtest to
backtest these
say,
over
at this
different
point,
market
Zazook shouldn't be
conditions. So we
sending
don't
any
just,
tips,
we don't
because
just cherry
sometimes the
pick
best
the
trade
time,
is
the
no
time we're
trade
going
at
to
all.
backtest stuff when
So
we know
Zazook's
Bitcoin's
pretty good at
flying
that
up and
when
the
the
alts are
market starts to
following.
turn around.
We backtest
And as
to
part
say,
of Zazook, we
at
have
this point,
other
Zazook shouldn't be
channels which
sending
give you
any
the
tips,
market
because
help.
sometimes
So
the
it
best
tells
trade
you what
is
the
no
risk
trade
level
at
is
all.
right now
So
if you decide to
Zazook's
trade.
pretty good at that
Expert
when the market
traders
starts to turn
will know
around.
this,
And
but
as
beginner
part of
traders
Zazook,
probably
we
need
have
to know,
other
take
channels
this
which
trade
give you
right now,
the market
Bitcoin's
help.
going back
So it
down.
tells you what the risk
Bitcoin's a
level
bit
is
like a
right
gravity
now
well,
if you decide to
and will
trade.
most likely drag
Expert
the alts
traders
with it.
will
So
know
at
this,
your own
but
risk
beginner
trade.
traders probably need to know, to take this trade right now,
Yeah. Wow, it's really interesting to see how
like a gravity
sort of
well,
the software works and
will
how it
most likely
really
drag the alts with it.
segments
So at your
the
own risk
winners
trade.
from its losers, perhaps through indicators.
Wow, it's really
Hey,
interesting.
Rennie, I'm not too
How sort of the software works and how it really segments the winners, losers.
Rennie, if you can mute your mic, let's try
You
that.
might be getting. I think you're getting rubbed.
Brandon, you're kind of breaking up a bit.
Yeah, maybe I can add something to it, to what you were saying, Andy, is that we are...
Yeah, I think Biz is getting rubbed a bit.
Yeah, I think it's been rubbed.
The indicators that everybody...
Yeah, maybe I can add something to
we
it.
have developed our own indicators.
To what you were saying, Andy, is that
basically,
we are... You talked about the...
in my opinion,
the indicators that everybody uses.
the old ones that
We have developed our own indicators.
commonly used, like the RSI and the MACD and that kind of stuff.
In my opinion, do a better job than
So with your indicators,
the old
you can
ones
use it
that
only on
are
the platform.
commonly used, like the
So if
RSI
someone is in the
and the
Zazook,
MACD
you
and
can
that
use
kind of stuff.
your own indicators, or you trying to
So with
make
your
that
indicators, you can use it only
being
on the
used worldwide.
platform.
Well,
If someone is
Go on,
in
Renee.
Zazook, can use your own
I'm not
indicators,
sure if I
or
totally
you
understood the
trying to
question
make
because
that
he broke up a bit.
something being used worldwide.
So did you get it?
Well,
Yeah, I think I did.
go on, Rennie.
I'm not sure if I totally understood the question because he broke up a bit.
within our software and nowhere else.
So did you get it?
But
Yeah, I think I did.
Question, are you going to tell people how that all works? Certainly within
algorithms
AMAs and things like
within
that
our
within
software and
Zazook.
nowhere else.
We're not going to be shy to explain for those that are interested
to answer
how
your
that
question,
works.
are we going to
Certainly not.
tell people how that all works?
But we're not making them available in terms of
AMAs
trading
and things
view
like
stuff
that
like
within
that. That's what
Zazook. We're not going to be shy to explain
we
for
have
those
no
that are
plans
interested
currently.
how that works.
Let's see.
Certainly not. It's but we're not making them available in terms of our trading view.
All right.
Brandon, you raised your hand.
Yeah, I'm gonna try this. How does it sound?
Oh, we
right
have
now?
no plans currently.
Yeah, it sounds much better
Let's
now.
see.
Okay, that was so odd. I don't even know what happened.
You've been brought from here.
Yeah.
Brandon,
Okay. Well, it's
raised
good.
your
It's
hand.
good that we're back.
Yeah, I'm gonna try this. How does
Yeah.
it sound
So I was
right
just
now?
gonna follow up with
Yeah,
like,
it's done much better
how
now.
the software
Okay, that
was
was
working
so
in the
odd. I
background,
don't even know what
where
happened.
it takes the
You've been
token
brought from here.
and how it identifies
Okay,
which
well, it's
one
good.
comes
It's good
in
that
as
we're
a
back.
juicy tip.
Yeah, so I was just gonna follow up with like
so it's really
software
interesting to
was
see
working
how
in the
elaborate
background, where
it is. You also
takes the
touched on
token
the
and
market
how it
health. You touched on
identifies
certain
what
aspects
comes
within
in
the
as a
system.
juicy tip.
So let's just say I was a new user.
So it's really interesting to see how elaborate
and I was just getting started.
it is.
You also mentioned about
touched
the videos that you can get
the
started
market
with.
health. You touched on certain aspects within the system.
Would you say is there?
So let's just say
just
I
walk
was
us through it. Let's just say we were a new user. How can a new user get started with the platform, knowing that there is
you
also this
mentioned
NFT aspect
videos
to
that
it?
you can get started with. So would you say is there? Maybe you'll just walk us through it. Let's just say we were a new user. How can a new user get started with the platform, knowing that there is also this NFT aspect to it?
Certainly. So the education starts
and then it goes on
you
to
don't
talk
know
about
anything about trading whatsoever.
like higher lows.
And in fact, I think the first video is what is a candle.
So slowly,
like it explains up and high low close, things like
a
that.
minute to a minute and a half long.
And then it goes on to talk about
they
different
take you
things,
through
charts
step by step on understanding when a juicy tip comes in, what you should be looking at.
So slowly,
We're
these
about to
videos,
release,
which
we
are no
finished the kind
longer
of
than
introductory
a minute
education
to a minute
course,
and a half
which is
long,
about 10 videos.
they take you
And we're
through
literally
step by step
recording
understanding when a
the
juicy
next
tip
set,
comes
which
in,
are
what
kind
you
of a
should be
more
looking at.
advanced version of
We're
that.
about to
But
release,
it's
we
best to
finished
go
the kind
through
of
them all,
introductory education
or to
course,
start
which is
where
about 10
where
videos.
where you want to.
And we're literally have been recording the next
so
set,
yeah, that's
which
the
are
that's
kind
the
of a
best
more
place to
advanced
start.
version
And the
of
other
that.
cool
But it's
way
best to go
it
through them all,
is
or to start where you're
if you join
where you want
Zazook
to,
and go into the Zazook bot
so yeah, that's the
channel
best place to start. And the other cool way to do it
and hit
is,
go,
as
you
part of
get
our
7
Discord
days free trial.
if you join
At the elite
Zazook
level, which
and
means
go
every
into
channel we
the
have on
Zazook
offer bot is open to
channel
you for
and
7
type
days.
/start
So you can have a look around. You can check out the
go,
juicy tips,
you
look
get
at
7
the
days
education.
free trial.
You can go onto the
at
charts,
the
maybe
elite
paper
level, which
trade
means
if you're
every
new to
channel
this,
we
how
have
it
on
looks,
offer
how it works.
is open to
Jump
you
on a
for
call
7
with
days.
us, chat to us,
So you can have a look
and
around.
learn before
You
you
can check
even
out the
decide to
juicy
buy
tips,
an
look at the education, You can go onto
yeah,
the
that's
chart,
super cool to know. So in terms of like
jump on a call with us,
content, getting into the server and chatting with you guys, what you guys have sort of on a daily basis that maybe users can plug into.
That's super cool to know. So in terms of like content, getting into the server and chatting with you guys, what do you guys have sort of on a daily basis that maybe users can plug into?
So every day, weekdays, at our 7 p.m.
See what Bitcoin's
12
doing,
o'clock
because
UTC.
Bitcoin is so important
We
to the rest of the market.
an hour where we get on a
We
call,
then have a look at some juicy tips.
the current state of the market,
Renee
what the market
will
health
plan
is.
out like
We have a look at
juicy
Bitcoin
tips,
and
looks
see
at
what
5 of
Bitcoin
the
is doing,
juiciest.
because
We go
Bitcoin is
look
so
at those
important
charts.
to the rest of the market.
And then the next day we go back to see
We
what
then
happened
have a
to
look
them,
at some juicy tips.
to see whether they
Renee
did shoot up
will plan
or
out,
they're still
looks at all the
waiting
juicy
or
tips,
whatever that
looks at
state
5
is.
of the juiciest.
So that's Monday to
We go look
Friday.
at those charts.
And anybody
then the
can
next
jump
day
on
we
that
go
call.
back to see what
That's
happened to them.
currently not limited to
see
even
whether they
owning an
did shoot
NFT.
up,
We might
or they're still waiting.
we've
or
already
whatever
got
that state
other
is.
VCs that
So
are
that's Monday to
that are
Friday.
a certain role types.
And
But
anybody
at the
can jump
moment,
on
that
that
particular
call.
one
That's
is
currently
open to
not
anybody,
limited
even if
to
you just onboarded
even owning an
in our
NFT. We
within our
might
Discord.
we've already got other VCs.
That's awesome. I just wanted to shout out NG real quick. Good morning. I know it's early for you, and appreciate you
open to
for
anybody,
joining
even
us.
if you just onboarded
Just seen him, NG. How are you?
within our Discord.
Oh, you're just listening. You're not talking. Sorry.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I just wanted to shout out.
But yeah,
NG
no,
real
it's
quick.
really
Good
cool.
morning. I know
It's really
early for
interesting
you.
to see. I mean,
I
obviously,
appreciate
Yeah,
for
just
myself, even
seen him,
before I even
NG.
got
How are
started,
you?
I had to
Oh, you're just
test the
listening. You're not
platform
talking.
for
Sorry.
myself to see, and I would say that there was this
But yeah,
one
no,
strategy
it's really
that
cool.
Renee
It's really
was using
interesting to see.
that
I mean, obviously,
really like
for myself,
spoke
even before I even got
strongly
started, I
about
had
what I
to
could, how
test
I
the
could utilize it
platform for
as
myself
part
to
of my
see,
own
and
trading.
I would say that there was this
Trading
one strategy
style,
that Renee
and that
was
was
using
with your
that
hold and break
really
levels.
like
And the reason why I'm going to
spoke
stress on this and harp on this point here, because
how I could
most traders, the
part
way
of
I
my
see it
own
anyways, because I came
trading,
from definitely from that
trading style.
from that
And that was with the hold and break levels. And the reason why
what
I'm
do you
going
call
to
it?
stress on
Leverage
this and harp on
style
this
trading
point here, because
from before.
most traders,
So
the way I see it,
I'm
anyways,
definitely
because I
quite
came
well
from
versed in that
definitely
sort of
from that
domain. But what I can
from
say
that,
is that most people are targeting the same resistance and
what do
support
you call it?
levels. Like
Leverage
it's almost
style
like
trading.
it's what everyone is
From
pretty
before.
much charting,
So
and
I'm
what I
definitely
found is
quite
that
well-versed in that
in the early days, so
domain.
in
But
2017,
what I can say
it
is
was
that
much easier
most
to
people are
chart
targeting the
and
same resistance
target
and
your
support levels.
resistance
Like,
and support
it's
levels
almost
and
like
get in and out of a
it's
trade.
what everyone
This is what I
pretty much
found. But the
targeting,
problem was
and
that
what I
most
found is
traders
that
right now
in
came,
the early days,
they
so
started to
in
become
2017,
well educated and
it
well
was much easier to
versed
chart
in
and
finding these support
target your
and
resistance and
resistance
support
levels, which
and
made
get in and out of
trading
the trade.
become
This is
less
what I found. The problem was that
in my opinion,
most traders
less
right
efficient
now
or maybe
came,
more efficient,
they
depending on
started
how
to
you look at
become
it.
well educated
And what that meant was that
versed in
everyone was
finding
targeting the
these
same
support
levels, and so it was
and
really
resistance
hard to get
levels, which made
predictable
trading become
and
less,
and get
well,
high
in my
probability
opinion,
trades,
less efficient,
because
or
a lot
maybe
of people
more
are
efficient, depending
targeting
on
the
how
same
you look
areas.
at it.
Now with hold
And
and
what
break
that meant
levels,
was
what I
that
found
everyone
very
was targeting
interesting
the
is
same
that
levels,
you're
and so it
actually
was really hard
targeting
to get predictable
specific regions
and beat,
before they
and
even hit
get
their
high
resistance
probability
levels, or
trades,
before they even
because
hit
a
their
lot of people
support
are
levels. And
targeting the
what
same
that
areas.
does
Now,
is
with
that
hold
because
and
you're
break
not
levels, what I
targeting the
found
same price
very
levels as
interesting is
most
that
of the other
you're actually
traders,
targeting
it gives a bit
specific
of a
regions
gap for
before they
traders to
even
get
hit
in and out
their
of trades
resistance
and feel
levels, before they even
confident that
hit their
you
support
actually
levels. And
pretty much
what that
got
does
out
is that
at
because
near
you're
the
not
top,
targeting the same
that at
price
least,
level as
or near the
most of
bottom,
other
at
traders,
least from my
it
experience.
gives
And so
a bit of a
Rennie,
gap
I mean, you
for
want to sort of talk
traders to get
and maybe
in and out of
elaborate
trades and feel
a little bit more on
confident
that strategy
you
there?
actually pretty much got out at near the top.
Of course I can.
At least, or near the bottom, at least from my
You're right.
experience. And so,
These
Rennie, I
levels
mean, you
are
want to sort of
basically
maybe
levels
elaborate
that you can
a little bit
find
more
in
on
any
that
chart.
strategy there?
The only thing is that
Yeah, of course I can.
support and resistance, they have support
You're
and
right.
resistance
These
everywhere,
levels
or
are
trend lines
basically
everywhere,
levels
because
that you can find in
in my
any
view,
chart.
they
The only
just
thing
don't
is
know
that
what they're doing.
when people look
And
at support and
if you use hold
resistance,
and
they
break
have
levels,
support and
basically
resistance
you start
everywhere,
with
or
the
trend
first thing
lines
where you have to
everywhere,
start with
because
is where is the
in my
move.
view, they just don't
And
know
so
what they're doing.
you find where the move
And
is in the chart.
if you use hold and break
And
levels,
once you found that move,
start.
then you can.
First thing you have to
there's a
start with
correction
is
to that
where is
move,
the
then you
move.
can find the whole level
you find where the
that
move is in the
move
chart.
is going to be held up,
And
meaning
once you found
that
that
the
move,
trend that
then you
hasn't been established by
there's a
that move
correction to that
is not
move,
broken.
and you can
And when you
find
find these
the whole
whole
level
levels,
where that
especially
move
when
is
it's
going to be held
longer
up,
term,
meaning that the trend
higher time frames,
hasn't been established by
like
that
the
move,
daily or the
is
4-hour
not
levels,
broken.
they
And when you
tend
find
to
these
hold
whole
the move
levels,
up almost always.
especially when it's
90% of the time you have a reaction on those levels.
higher time frames,
And
like the daily or the
that
4-hour
means
levels,
that these levels you can
tend to
take
hold
your
the move
trade,
up
and
almost
your
always.
break level is
90% of
most
the
of the
time you
times
have a
very
reaction
close
on those levels.
to that whole level.
And
So when you get into
that means that
the
these,
trade
at
and
these
the
levels you
trade
can
goes
take your
against
trade,
you,
and
then
your break
the
level
level that
is
is
most of the times very
your break
close
level
to that
is
whole level.
giving you
So when you get
a
into that
small
in
loss,
the trade and the
and
trade
if
goes
you
against you,
uh,
then
look
the
at
level
the
that
over
is
end of the trade,
your
you can
break
make
level
quite a
is
big profit.
giving you
So your risk reward
small
is
loss.
high. So you have two
And if
advantages
you,
when you use these whole levels. First of
look
all,
at the
you're very
overhand of the
close to
trade,
your exit
you can make
when you have a loss.
quite a big profit.
They
So your
almost
risk
always
reward
hold
is
the move up.
high. So you have two advantages when
So
you
there's
use these whole levels.
almost
First of
always
all,
a reaction to
you're very
the
close
top,
to your
so that
exit
means to the
when you
other
have a
side.
loss.
So it bounces off of that.
They
That
almost
means
always hold
that
the
once it
move up.
bounces off, you can
So there's
adjust your
almost always a reaction
stop loss
to the
break
top. So
even.
that means to
So
the
you're
other
sure you're
side.
not gonna lose, and you let
So it bounces off of
your
that.
trade run.
That means that once
and
it bounces off, you can adjust your stop loss to break even. So you're sure you're not gonna lose, and you let your trade run.
Support by the whole level.
And I can explain
it's a very
in later stages. I can
an easy
explain then
system,
where you
but
should take your profits,
but
depending on
I
where
when
the
you
support
first
was.
start to
But the
use
support
it,
by the whole
can be a
level.
little bit
So it's a
complicated,
very
but
it's an easy system, but
overall it makes you
but I
confident
understand
in
when
trading
you
because
first
you know where
start
that
to
trade is
use
gonna
it,
go.
it can be a little bit
Sometimes I tell you, okay, there's a whole level,
but-
and you say, well, that's 50%.
overall,
yeah, it's
it makes
50% down there.
you confident in
But,
trading because you know where that trade is going to go. Sometimes I tell you, okay, there's a whole level, and you say, well, that's 50%. Yeah, it's 50% down there. But it gets there then
totally.
eventually.
Yeah, it's definitely very elaborate
And that's
of
what
the
you need
strategy.
to understand.
It'd probably
Sometimes
be
you
easier
need to
for
have that patience to wait for that
easier
whole
illustration to just hop on the VCs that you guys do every day.
Totally. It's definitely
to learn
very
more
elaborate
about it.
of the strategy, and it'd probably be easier for easier illustration to just hop on the VCs that you guys do every day to learn more about it.
Yeah. And then also, if you go
totally.
through the videos, and then you get an understanding, and you will see how logical it is.
We have something that
And then you think, why didn't I think of it?
Trading. Yes, we have coins with big project
Yeah,
background,
Yeah,
like
I have a take.
Ethereum or like
So,
some others.
in in cryptos, we have something that we don't have it like in normal trading. Yes, we have coins with big project or backgrounds like Ethereum or like some others like more gamified, where we have games and backing the coins. But also we have something like the meme coins that it's not common, like it's all driven from community, virality, everything
First of all, we
is
have an
a bit more
indicator that
unpredictable.
tells us
How you trading
sectors
on
are
this and how that you
doing better than others.
can
So that's
help
also
trading on
something
this.
that we maybe
Well,
have to mention.
first of
So
all,
you can
we have
see,
an indicator
for instance,
that
if
tells us
the NFT or the AI coins or the
sectors
meme
are
coins,
doing
the
better
NFT
than
coins,
others. So that's also
And
something
that's
that
one thing.
we maybe have to
And
mention. So you can
trading
see,
is
for instance,
emotion.
the
So
NFT
whatever
or the AI
chart
coins or
you
the meme
look at,
coins,
if
the
it's
NFT
traded with
coins.
enough volume,
And
and
that's
you
one
see the
thing.
same patterns.
And
The
trading
swings are maybe
is
higher. They don't,
emotion. So
if
whatever
you trade
chart
stocks, you're happy
you
with a
look
0.5% a day.
if it's traded with enough
But here
volume,
in crypto,
you
it
see
can
the
be
same
10%,
patterns.
15,
The swings are maybe higher, bigger.
can be 100% in a
I
day.
mean, if you trade stocks, you're happy with 0.5% a day.
In a bull market.
But here in crypto, it can be 10%, 15, even more. It can be 100% in a day if we are in a bull market. But the principle of this is the same.
Totally. And I think that the
way you
sector
should trade is the
having
same.
it break down having the report break it down in sectors
I
by
hope that
showing a
answers your
gauge
question.
perfectly illustrates
Yeah.
sort of at least
Totally.
communicates
and I think that the sector,
overall sentiment.
having it break down.
Yeah, and I also think that
or having the report break it
the
down
other
in
thing that you
sectors
guys
by showing
offer
the
as
gauge,
well, at least for
perfectly
traders,
illustrates
is the
sort of at least
there's this
communicates
gauge I remember seeing
the overall sentiment.
It's slipping
and I
off
also
the
think
top of
that
my tongue. It's the index.
The other thing that you guys
Yes.
offer as well, at least for traders,
the
is
greed index. That's it, right
there's
there.
this
The
gauge
Warren
I
Buffett
remember seeing.
indicator.
Yeah, well, the fear and greed index.
It's slipping off the top of my tongue. The
The
index.
market health gauges.
Fear and greed index, just so that it's there.
The greed index. That's it, right there.
Well, the fear and greed index
by
I just
us.
bring in
We
from
bring that in the same way that in our aggregated
the main
news,
fear and greed index,
we
just
have
so
a
that
news
it's there
channel
within Zazook. You
that
don't need
brings
to go
in
look at it
aggregated
somewhere
news
else.
via crypto panic, just so that
Yeah,
you get
that's not generated
news
by
updates
us.
on projects
We
and
bring
things
that in
like
the
that.
same way that in our aggregated
That's
news, we have a news channel that brings in aggregated news via crypto panic, just so that you're getting sort of news updates
and then
on
we break
projects
it down
and things
into
like that.
sectors
So yeah, that's
AI, gaming,
so that's that. But we
NFT,
do have the market health, which tells you the overall market health
gaming,
of all of the
DeFi,
coins that we
meme and
support,
DeFi,
and then we break it down
at the
into
moment.
sectors.
And we may have more
like,
sectors as we move
AI,
forward.
gaming,
And actually,
NFT,
the way that the Meta Pro and Elite roles
Metaverse.
work
No, wait a minute.
is
Gaming,
that
DeFi.
once you get to the Pro role,
meme
you'll
and DeFi.
see
Yeah. At the moment,
and
we may
the
have more
sector
sectors
juicy
as we move
tips as
forward.
well. So we don't just have like all the
way
juicy
that
tips coming into
Pro
one
and
channel.
roles work.
They're broken down into time frames. So the 4
once
hour
you get
juicy
to the
tips
Pro
can come
role,
in,
you
12 hour
see
juicy tips, 1 day hour day juicy
the
tips.
sector
And then we
juicy
break
tips
them
as
into
well.
the
So we
sectors
don't
like
just have
DeFi,
like all
AI,
the juicy
like
tips
that.
coming into one channel.
So
They're broken down
to trade
into time
NFT
frames.
coins,
So the
those
4
are
hour
the 3
juicy
channels
tips
we
come
look
in, 12 hour juicy
I
tips,
see that we are almost at the hour.
and then we break them into the sectors like DeFi.
Yes, absolutely.
Like that. So
since we're close to the top of the hour,
you want to trade NFT coins,
how about
those are the 3 channels you look
if you
at.
guys can let
I
us
see
know
that we are
how can
almost at the hour.
traders get involved with the platform?
Yeah.
What can they sort of expect moving forward?
Since we're close
You
to
also
the top of the
mentioned
hour,
one thing. I just want to touch on
how
this, or maybe
about,
you can touch on this, or
if you guys can
it
let us
seems
know
like you said you can add more sectors.
traders
Perhaps
get
maybe
involved with the platform.
touch on the
What can they
flexibility
sort of
of
expect
user
moving
feedback
forward?
and
You also
and how
mentioned
it
one
could
thing. I
play a
just want
shape
to
in
touch on this,
Zazook
or maybe you
platform.
can touch on this, or
Well, certainly,
it seems like
as a
you
good
said
example,
you can add
when
more
we
sectors.
effectively
Perhaps
went live
maybe
within Discord with users
touch
a
on the
few weeks
flexibility
ago,
of user feedback
we were putting the
and how
juicy
it could
tip and
play
the
a shape
trade
in
updates in the
Zazook
same
platform.
channels, and the users
Well, certainly. I mean, as a good example,
find
when
the
we
juicy tips because
effectively
keep
went
getting
live
juicy
within
tip
Discord with
updates coming.
users a few weeks ago,
Because the users have given us that
we
feedback,
were
we've now
putting the
split them
juicy
out
tip and the trade updates in the same channels, and the users were saying,
into separate channels.
I
So now
can't
the
find the
juicy
juicy
tips,
tips
which have
because we
got
keep
green
getting the
down the
juicy tip
border,
updates
they're
coming
all
in.
in one channel,
So because of the
any
users have
updates
given us that
related to
feedback, we've
time
now
frame are in a
split them
different
out
channel.
into
So we're more than happy for people to come in and give us
into
ideas.
separate channels.
And even
So
if there's
now
an
the juicy
expert trader,
tips, which
someone
have
who
got green
has
down
a
the
trading
border,
strategy of
they're
their
all in
own
one
and they want to
channel,
talk
and
about
then
it,
any
it
updates
may well be
related to
possible
that time frame
if
are
it
in a different
works,
channel.
that we
So
can
we're
do
more
some
than
kind
happy
of
for people to come in and give us
collaboration
ideas.
with
And
them,
even if there's an
and
expert
implement
trader,
that
someone
strategy.
who has a trading
There's tons of stuff
strategy
we
of
can
their
do
own and they
moving
want to
forward.
talk about it, it may well be possible if it works.
That's awesome.
That we
So
can do some
it does
kind
seem
of,
like there's quite a bit in the works.
collaboration
It
with
seems like
them
there's a lot of
and
ways
then
people
implement
can
that
get
strategy.
involved.
There's tons of stuff
I think
we
the
can
best
do
bet
moving
is if
forward.
you are interested to join the Discord.
That's
You
awesome.
can
Yeah. So
follow them on
it does seem
Twitter,
like there's quite a bit
Zazook
in the works.
app,
It seems like there's a lot of
or
ways
Zazook app.
people can get involved.
Yeah.
I
And
think the best
and you
bet
can follow
is
them
if
there.
you are interested
Dimojov,
to join
we
Discord,
are at the top of the hour. Did you want
follow
to
them on
close it out
Twitter,
with anything?
Zazook.app.
Yeah, we are
Or Zazook app.
Zazook app, yeah.
Just a quick
Yeah, and you can follow them there. Dimojov, we are at the top of the hour. Did you want to close it out with anything?
Yeah, we are the top of the hours, and I have a specific question, a bit more personal for both of them. Which coin or which sector of cryptos you prefer trading? Like you prefer like a big coin names like Ethereum, or you prefer like lower kind of project? You prefer
I'll let Renee answer that first.
We'll use
when
Bitcoin
you wake
report
up in
to
the
see if
morning,
we are
which one
going to
is
trade
the
at
one
all.
you're going to
And
look
then
first and I want to
we
trade
look
in
at
this
the
today?
sector,
I'll let
which
Renee
one
answer
is
that
basically
first.
the best one performing.
We'll use
And then we see if there's anything coming in
Bitcoin report to see if we are going to trade at all.
Those are the ones
And
that we
then,
have a look at.
We look at
And
the
if there's nothing
sector,
in there,
which one
we
is basically
go
the
to
best
the
one
next best
performing.
one and
And then we
see
see if there's anything coming in
if there's any juicy tips
those are the
in
ones
there.
that we have a look at.
We look at the juicy
If
tips
there's
and
nothing
decide
in
then
there,
which
we
one of
go to the
them
next best one
looks the best
and see
to trade.
what's
So that's
if
basically
there's
what
any
we are not
there's any
really
juicy tips in there.
looking at
We look at the juicy tips and decide then
small or
which
bigger coins.
which
It's
one
just what
of
comes
them
in and what
looks the
sectors
best
and where's Bitcoin.
to trade. So
I
that's
mean, I think this is down to a
we are
personal
not
trading
really
style. Some people like
looking
to
at
trade only BTC and Ethereum, right? Because
small
they
or
see them
bigger
as more
coins.
solid,
It's
and
just
more
what comes
long-term.
in and what sectors.
I just
where's
want to make
Bitcoin.
some money from trading.
I mean, I think this
So
is down to a
if a
personal
coin
trading
comes in
style.
like
Some
we had
people like to
the
trade
other
only
day,
BTC and
it
Ethereum,
came
right?
in and
Because they
just
see them
shot
as
to
more solid and more
it was
long-term.
one of those that just came in as a juicy tip.
I just want to make some money
and
from
went up to
trading.
nearly 100% within
If a
2
coin
hours.
comes in like we had
So
Ape
it's,
the other day, Ape and
trade what I
it came in
see
and just shot
based
up to
on our
it
juicy tips.
was
And
one of
if I
those
like
that
the
just
look of
came
it
in as a
based on
juicy
the way
tip
we
and just
trade,
flew
or the way,
and went up to nearly
mixture of how
100%
we
within
teach
a few
people and a
hours.
mixture of my own
So it's
trading style
I
and my risk
trade what I
tolerance based
see
on BTC,
based on
then
our juicy tips.
I will go into a
And
trade.
if I like the look
Or
of
I'll
it
stay
based
out
on
and
the way
take the
we
day off
trade,
trading if it's looking really,
mixture of how
really
we
doom and
teach
gloomy.
people and a mixture of my own
And what about
trading
you, Vince?
style and my risk
Oh man,
tolerance
you
based
want
on BTC,
you really
then
want to know?
I will go into a trade.
I
Or I'll stay out and take the day
I
off of trading if it's looking really,
you know what?
really
I
doom and
always
gloomy.
caution my style.
And
It's
what
not
about
meant
you,
for
Vince?
everybody. So
Oh man,
yes,
you
I
want
can
you
definitely
really
walk
want to
through
know?
how I do
Mr.
it.
I,
But
Degen.
you know, for me, I really like looking at the charts, and
You know what? I
there's
always
very
caution my
specific
style.
chart
It's
patterns that
not meant
I
for everybody.
like to
So,
go in. And what I
yes,
do
I
is
can definitely walk
with
through
Zazook
how
app,
I do
I
it. But
identify those
you know,
tips,
for me, I
and
really
if
like
it
looking at the charts.
if it
And
if the
there's
chart
very
pattern
specific
aligns
chart
with
patterns that
my
I
high
like to
probability
go in.
setup,
And what I do is
where the
with the Zazook
asymmetrical
app, I
bet is
identify
much
those
higher
tips,
because
and
of the length of
if the
consolidation
chart pattern aligns
the
with
price has been in
my
for
high
a
probability
given
setup,
amount of time,
where
I get very excited.
the
And in fact, I
asymmetrical
get so
bet
excited,
is much
I
higher
actually take on
because
more than
of
I
the
should
length
by
of
leveraging. And
consolidation.
that's where I would
the price
caution
has
most
been
people
for
to not
a
really do
given
it unless
amount of time.
you are
I
actually
get
have
very excited.
you know, skin
and
in the
in
game
fact, I get
for
so
this,
excited,
because
I actually
yeah,
take
very
on more
quickly you
than I
can
should
definitely have
by
your
leveraging. That's
have
where I would caution most people to
have your bags
not
handed
really do
back
it
to
unless
you,
you
handed
you are
it back
actually
over.
have
So
you know,
know,
skin in the
always be
game
careful
for this, because
I don't
yeah, very
recommend
quickly
it.
you can definitely have
but
your
there's always better practices, and I think Andy does a more conservative
have your bags handed
approach,
back to you,
and I would
handed
highly
it back over. So
you know,
it's always
advise anybody to take a little bit more of a conservative approach when you're getting into trading.
But there's
I
always
think right now
better
we
practices.
can't ignore
Andy does a more
memes,
conservative
because memes is going to be part of like the next bull. It's going to be part of the super cycle. So
to take a little bit more of a conservative.
We have to sort of respect the trends, right now, and as well feed into some of the narratives,
because
and utilizing some of the
like
tips.
The next
we can actually
it's going to be part of the super cycle. So
at a decent entry and not have to sit on the coins forever. Because the narratives one of the things that Zazook does well is that it identifies tokens when there's volume. And so we think of the platform as, okay, well, if you can sit there and analyze the data for me,
one of
and
the
when
things
that
that
alerts
Zazook does well
the
is that it
volume
identifies
side, it's
tokens
just like, great.
when
Now that
there's
it alert
volume.
the volume
And
side,
so we
I'm going to
think
wait
of the
for, and we're
platform
going to
as,
go
okay,
to the
well,
chart
if you
pattern.
can
We're going to
sit there
identify
and
where our
analyze the data
entry
for
points
me,
are,
and
then we're
when
going to
that
establish a
alerts
position
the
accordingly,
volume
knowing
side,
that
it's
there's
just like,
volume
great.
to
Now
back
that
it
it
up.
alerts the
Now,
volume
what that
side,
does is that it
I'm going to
suggests
wait
that
for,
in
we're
a
going to
shorter
go to the
period of
chart pattern.
time,
We're going to
we can see
identify
some sort
where
of
our entry
predict,
points are,
a
and then
high
we're going to
probability
establish a
of a certain
position
coin
accordingly,
going in a
knowing
certain
that there's
direction.
volume to
And so
back
that
it up.
part really
Now, what
excites
that
me. And I
does
think
is that it
if
suggests
people
that in
utilize
a
the
shorter
platform in
period
this
of
way,
time, we
more
can see some
responsibly,
sort of
not on
predict,
leverage, I think
a
that
high
there can be some
probability of a
success
certain
within
coin
this
going in a
platform
certain
for sure.
direction. And so that part
And you
really
forgot to
excites me. And
mention
I think
you came
if
in
people
and did your
utilize the
10X
platform in
when you
this
first
way,
joined us.
more responsibly,
Yes, yeah.
not
So
on
the way I
leverage,
would look at
I
it
think
is,
that there can be some
if I did
success
10x once,
within
I got to
this
do it
platform,
10x
for sure.
twice, and if I can
And
do
you
it
forgot
twice,
to
then
mention you came in and did your 10X
it's a
when you first joined
repeatable
us.
process. But you know, it's a fun journey.
So the way
I
would
wouldn't
look
say
at
that
it
that
is,
would be my sole
if I
purpose.
did 10x
I think
once,
the best purpose
twice,
is
and if
to
I can do it
trade
twice,
consistently. And as long as you're
it's a
beating the market and you're winning
repeatable
overall,
process. But
I mean, it's
it's
a
a
good
fun
strategy
journey.
to have for
I
sure.
wouldn't say that
So
that
yeah,
would be
I mean, I'm
my
looking
sole
forward to
purpose.
doing it.
I think
and,
the best
and
purpose
continue to
is
trade
to
and hopefully
trade
sharpen my skills with you
and as long as
legends,
you're
you know,
beating the
that built
market
the
and
software
you're
as
winning
well as
overall,
you know,
I
the
mean, it's a
trading
good
algorithm.
strategy to have for
So
sure.
I'm like a
So yeah,
sponge.
I mean,
Amen.
You know, teach
what
me
you're
and
doing
I'll do my best to learn.
you know, and continue to trade and hopefully sharpen my skills with you legends, you know, that built the software as well as you know.
Yeah, I mean, that was
algorithm.
probably the deciding
So
factor
I'm
of
like a
how I
sponge.
got the 10x
You know, teach me
challenge
and I'll do my best to
accomplished in
learn.
such a shorter time period. So yeah,
how did those
I mean, I know what it is,
levels
but
help
you know,
you?
it's always good to hear from you guys.
Yeah, I mean, that was probably the deciding
Yeah,
factor
for
of
sure.
how I got the 10X
But yeah,
challenge accomplished in such a
Angelo,
shorter time period.
was there other questions
So
that
yeah,
you wanted to?
I mean, I know
on?
what it is, but you know, it's always good to hear from you guys.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, Angelo, was there other questions that you wanted to follow up on?
Twitter Zazook app, you'll see the link
I
to the
think I need to
website,
join
which is actually
Zazook as soon as
Zazook.
possible as well.
And on the homepage
To
there,
follow
you'll
you,
see a
Brandon.
Discord link that you can click
Yeah,
to join.
so you can either go to
And
the
then have a look around.
you go to
start a
Twitter's
free
Zazook
trial,
app, you'll see the link
you'll
to the
see
website,
everything
which is
we have
actually
to offer.
zazook.app.
And then reach out
And on
to
the
us, and
homepage
we're
there,
happy
you'll
to
see a Discord
engage,
link
happy to chat to
that you can click to join.
before you even have to
And then
spend
have a
any
look
money.
around,
And of
start a
course,
free
at the moment,
trial,
remember, when
and
you
you'll
buy
see
an
everything
NFT,
that we have to
you're actually
offer.
buying a subscription.
And
You're
then
not
reach
just
out to
buying
us,
an
and we're
NFT.
happy
The
to
NFT happens
engage,
to be a
happy to
subscription
chat to you
NFT.
before
And it
you
has
even have
locked-in
to
things, and you can sell
spend
that
any money.
NFT.
And of
So
course,
for
at the
just
moment, remember, when you
$19.80,
buy
you
an
can take 1
NFT,
month
you're actually
member
buying
role,
a
or for
subscription. You're not just
$25.80,
buying an
you can
NFT.
take
Your
1 month
NFT
elite
happens
role.
to be a
And
subscription
if you buy 3 months, you
and
get
it has
1 month
locked-in
free. So we
things,
have,
and you can
you'll
sell
see
that
that when you
NFT.
start to look
So
at the
for just
website. And we also have
$19.80, you can
videos
take 1 month
showing you how to
member role,
use the
or for
dashboard, how to
$25.80,
manage your
you can take 1
subscription
month elite role.
within
And if
the
you
service.
buy
So just
3
reach
months, you
out
get
to
1
us.
month free. So we have a
Yeah,
you'll see
and
that
then
when you start to look at the
once
website. And we also have
you're
videos
done with the month,
showing
then
you
you
how to
don't
use the dashboard and how to
want to
manage your
extend.
subscription
You still own the NFT, and you
within the
still
service.
own.
So just reach out to us.
I think you mentioned that already. And once you're
discount,
done with the
80%
month,
discount,
and you
that's
don't
now.
Yeah, that's still there.
you
When
still own the
expire,
NFT, and you still
when your
own.
subscription expires, the
I think you
Discord bot
mentioned
sends
that
you a
already.
message saying,
You
hey, it's
own
expired. We give
discount,
you a 2-day
80%
grace
discount,
period
that's
to
now
extend your
Yeah,
subscription.
that's
So you
still
can still
there.
see all the channels.
When you expire,
And then if you don't,
when your
after 2
subscription
days,
expires, the Discord bot
will remove
sends
your
you a
roles,
message
the
saying,
channels
"Hey,
will
it's
disappear.
expired."
Then when
We
you
give
come
you a
back and
2-day
extend, they'll all
grace
appear
period
again
to extend your
automatically. We run your
subscription,
script
so you
every
can still
5
see all the
minutes.
channels.
The most you'll
And
have
then
to
if you
wait is
don't,
5 minutes
after 2
to all
days, the
appear
Discord
again.
bot will remove your roles,
So
the channels will
that's
disappear.
just hop
Then
in
when you come
there,
back
have
and
a look
extend,
around.
they'll all appear
There's
again
no obligation.
automatically.
Come and have
We
a
run the
free
script
trial.
every 5 minutes.
Come into some of the AMAs.
The most you'll have to
just get
wait is
involved.
5 minutes for them to all appear again.
Totally, that's So yeah, I forgot one of the other major benefit is that you can always pause your subscription too. So let's just say you're learning the trenches and you're trying to analyze the charts, and that's going to take time. I mean, like, dude, like if you're new to trading, there's a lot of terminology to get familiar. Like, first of all, you have to understand what the candles are, what a wick is, what the body of the candle looks like, what is it. And that's gonna take time. Stuff, I mean, like if you're fresh, like I remember it took me like a year and a half solid, like just like first of all, you have to understand what the candles are, what the link is, and
what
all
the
that.
body of
So
the
I mean,
candle
like
looks
it's a
like,
bit of a
what
learning
is it,
curve, but at the
right?
same
And
time,
that
while
stuff,
you're
like,
learning,
if
you
you're
can always
fresh, like I
pause
remember it took me
and
like
do that.
a
And I think
year
that
and a
that's one
half
of the
solid, like
beautiful
just,
things
you know,
about this
blinders
NFT
on,
subscription
really
model
trying
is
to
that
study
you're able
the
to do
lingo
that.
and all that.
Where
So
I don't
mean,
know
like,
if any
it's a bit of a
subscription model
learning
where you
curve,
can
but at the
pause your
same time,
membership to
while you're
learn.
learning, you can always pause and do that. And I think that that's one of the beautiful things about this NFT subscription model is that you're able to do that. Where I don't know if any subscription model where you can pause your membership to learn.
No, exactly. I wanted it to be as fair as possible because life has a tendency to get in the way, and I don't want you to have to pay for that. You should be able to end your subscription, keep those credits, then come back when
That's
you're
so
ready.
dope, man.
For whatever
Yeah, I
reason,
mean,
whether
obviously,
you
I'm
just wanna
excited,
take a break, you're going on
and
holiday, you wanna learn more, and then come
we're
back.
excited
That
to follow
remaining
along with the
time
journey. And
will be there as a credit to be able to
right
extend.
now, you guys are just getting started, and
That's so dope,
I mean,
man. Yeah, I mean,
I'm with you guys as well. So
and,
yeah, I mean, this is awesome.
we're
I think that what
excited
you're
to
building
follow along with the
is
journey,
great.
and,
I think Zazook is a perfect use
right now
case
you
for
guys are
the
just getting started,
the NFT text
I mean,
stack that you've built.
I'm with you
I
guys
think
as well.
that
So
just
yeah, I mean, this
having
is
Zazook
awesome. I think that
showcase
what
the
you're building
NFT
is
subscription
great.
model.
I think Zazook is a
Does
perfect
open a
use
door
case for
of
the
like, what else can NFTs do?
text
And
stack
so
that you
yeah,
built.
super
I
excited
think that
to be
just
involved, and
having
yeah,
Zazook
it's going to be an
showcase
awesome
the
journey
NFT
for sure.
model.
All right, cool,
Does
guys.
open a
I
door
think
of,
we're
like,
pretty much at the end of it.
what else
And
can NFT
for those
do?
that are listening, there's going to
And
be
so yeah,
you can always
super
re-listen.
excited
The other
to
thing
be
too is
involved, and
we'll
it's
put
gonna
a
be an
recap
awesome
together
journey
and
for
try
sure.
to get the points and
All right,
consolidate all the
cool, guys.
information,
I think
so
we're
it'd
pretty
be
much at
easier
the
for
end
you
of
guys
it. And
to access
for
it.
those that are listening,
All
there's
right,
gonna be a
friends.
you can always
Yeah.
re-listen. The other thing too is we'll put a recap together and try to get the points and
Awesome. All right,
consolidate all the
guys.
information. So
That's it for
it'd be
today.
easier for you guys
Dimojo,
to
thank